and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everyone. I want to talk to you about something. I guess this is, I'm going to call 2021 the year of the first, because I'm talking about a lot of things I normally do not talk about on the air. I normally talk about these things only with my clients, but I don't know. I'm in a given mood in 2021 because 2021 is a bust out year for people. Okay, because 2020 was such a tough year. We need some bust out type of action happening in 2021. So that's why I'm just gonna pull out all the stops and show you guys a couple of internal things that's going on in LBMS and that helps other clients actually succeed. But before today's topic is called how to use a reactivation campaign to boost revenue in tough times. Now, before I get to the actual nitty gritty of what I'm going to talk to you about today, let's do some housekeeping. Number one, as always, this year I am only making the book available. Outside of Amazon, of course, it's always on Amazon. But I want to give away my book, 7 Steps to Recession Proofing Your Business. By the way, in that book has some really cool detailed topics about reactivation of campaigns during tough times. Because remember, when I wrote that book based on 2008. If you guys remember the crash 2008, I started my business in 2007. I was able to survive using a lot of these tactics that we've been talking about lately. Because, we're now in another economic downturn where businesses are struggling again because of the pandemic. But anyway, if you want a free copy of my book, head on over to lbmsllc.com/book and order your free copy. It's just a few bucks for shipping, and we'll send it to your doorstep. Now, we're only shipping to people in the US of A. So, if you are abroad, if you're in Canada, Mexico, the UK, Australia, and you want a copy of my book, I cannot give it to you for free, but you can go on Amazon and get it, and it's available there anyway. So you don't want to miss out on that, folks. Head on over to lbmsllc.com/book and get your free copy of the book, 7 Steps to Recession Proofing Your Business. All right, so the next topic I want to talk to you about, guys, is, I've been getting a lot of emails on topics, and I'm going to start talking about those topics coming soon. I just wanted to get some of these game-changing type topics out of the way in 2021 so you guys can start implementing now, earlier in the year. And then I will get to your topics, I promise, as soon as possible. So that being said, if there is a topic that you have that you want us to talk about, if this is something that you're struggling with some digital marketing aspects or something like that, give us a call, 888-416-7752, or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com, and we will be sure to connect with you and add it to the show. All right. Then here we are. Last week, if you can recall, I talked to you about a very powerful marketing thing that we never talk about on the air, and that's email marketing and how to sequence it. And it's very important that you follow that correctly, because it's going to get you to to get you in a mode of staying top of mind. So today, this is going to help you further get that top of mind, and it's going to help you reactivate campaigns and boost your revenue. And if you're having a tough time right now, this is something that you want to sink in and actually start to do. So first of all, I know you're probably asking, what is a reactivation campaign? Okay, a reactivation campaign is a marketing campaign that actually asks your past customers to re-engage with you, with your brand, and hopefully make another inquiry or purchase or whatever it is that you want them to do. See, the most common and affordable way to do this is through an email marketing sequence. Ta-da! That's what we talked about last week. And you want to talk about a sequence, just listen to that episode. If you want, not if you want, I will definitely put a link to last week's episode in the show notes, because the two of these things are going to connect with each other. Now, no matter what you do, see, you'll never be able to re-engage 100% of your past customers. That's just, it's just not possible. Okay. People need change, or they maybe, they may deal with shopping with, for a better price somewhere else. People are always price shopping, especially during tough times. That's just the way it is. As a matter of fact, just 2 weeks ago, I have a process in my business where if I give somebody a quote for a website, or if I give somebody a quote for some marketing or whatever, and I don't get the deal, and they say, hey, sorry, we went with another company, that's fine. But I always like to ask, what is it? Why didn't you go with us in this? And 9 times out of 10, especially now, it's because of the price. So people are shopping for better pricing now, right? That's just the way it is. That's the funny thing about this. I'm not the most expensive guy in town. Our websites are very, very affordable, but for some reason it was too high for that particular client. No problem. We just moved on, shook hands, and parted as friends. But my point of telling you that story is that people are price shopping, or they're just frustrated as is, and they've had, like, say, a bad experience with your brand, maybe, So we got to try to re-engage them if that's the case. Or if it's a price issue, how do you try to, win them back or whatever with something else? But the thing is that many of these customers who have gone quiet simply forgot about you. That's the thing. So the reactivation campaign reminds people that you're still here, and that you have some exciting goodies that they may want in the future, or now. So this is an email sequence that that should be part of your regular email marketing strategy right now. So again, I'm going to put a link to the show notes last week, so that way you can remember what I talked about, because that's going to be key to today's success, to this whole thing, to have a success. The thing that you got to remember, guys, that we're in tight times. So when times are tight, say during this kind of pandemic, right? An email marketing campaign is basically a low cost way to re-engage people, okay, to mostly buy. That's very low cost, such as social media, But I'm not going to talk about social media right now, because that's a total different way to re-engaging. And the problem with the social media side is, if you didn't have an active group prior to this economic downturn, pandemic, or whatever, it's going to be hard to re-engage something that you didn't have before. So you're going to have to spend money to try to attract, not re-engage, basically try to attract new people, and that's spending money. That's why I I very much like the reactivation campaign via email marketing as a better option, because it's low cost. Okay, so here's how to run a customer reactivation campaign. I'm going to give you 7 steps, 7 easy things that you want to do when you run a reactivation campaign. Get your pen and paper out, guys. If you're walking your dogs, listen intently, because this is going to be smoking. Always wanted to say that. Anyway, so number 1 is you want to organize and segment. So think about it. How neat is your list? Is it well organized in one place? Is it tagged based on factors like location, purchase history, demographic? Is it scrubbed of email addresses that return, like, say, hard bounces? Okay. If not, it's time to just put this in work. Okay. You want a personalized reactivation campaign that's going to be more effective than a single email sequence sent to your entire list. Okay. So you have to segment it. You have to do this. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is very important. I talked about it before. I talk about it often. Segmenting your list is a powerful, it's not a powerful, it's a necessity when you're trying to re-engage, when you're trying to communicate with them. The reason why you want to segment, and I know I'm regurgitating some stuff over again, but this is very important. The reason why you want to segment is because you want to talk to your A, your B, and your C people differently. We've talked about segmenting them from A, B, and C. Like I said earlier, it could be from purchase history. Maybe your high purchase people are your A's. Your B's are probably, maybe if you notice a certain demographic that buys more, that's maybe a B, but a little less, etc. Your people who bounce hard, maybe they're your C's. But you want to send them different types of messages at all times, because you want to talk to them differently. You don't want to treat everybody the same. So anyway, so that's number 1. Organize and segment. Number 2, you want to set your goals. Here's what I mean. While we're primarily discussing reactivation to boost sales or boost kind of engagement or boost opt-ins or whatever, this type of campaign can have several purposes. Okay, you may simply want to try to re-engage your list so you can remove any potential customers who are no longer interested in your service or your product. Right? That's one goal that you may want. Or you may want them to sign up for a future webinar or a training or warm up, or you just want to train them to and warm up the lead a little bit because they've gone cold or something. That may be your goal. You just want to make sure to keep your goal front and center while you're basically creating your content. That's key. Okay, that's very key. So number 2, you want to set your goal. Number 3, you want to choose your segments. Now that your list is clean and organized, from step 1, you have and you have clear goals. Step 2, you can decide how to approach your different segments. Like I said, you have to have that in down. And this is where step 3 comes. You could choose to send one set of emails to leads who, let's say have signed up for your list and not converted. That's one set. You could set, you can set to, say, one-time customers. That's another type of email. And another to, say, repeat customers who haven't opened one or your who hasn't opened up one of your emails in a certain amount of time. Like let's say, wow, your repeat customers, they're very loyal and they haven't opened up your emails, let's say in the last 2 months, 3 months. You may want to segment and choose an email path that way to communicate with them. See, your segments will deepen will deepen on the nature of your business. That's the key. Okay, it's gonna be deep, and it's gonna be deep. The deeper the email is, or the deeper your connection is. That's what I'm trying to say. The deeper your connection is with your list is going to kind of depend on how you want to structure the business and the specific reactivation goals. So it depends. That's why I want to say, that's why you probably want to structure it. Okay, if repeat customers get this type of deep email, this type of communication, and maybe one-time customers get a separate one because you don't have that deep connection with them. So the segments, it's just going to depend. So that's it's going to deepen and deepen and deepen as you are deep with them. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Number 4, you want to create your first email. Again, if you want some tips on this, you can go to last week's episode. But this is a little bit of a different email. That's going to structure different. Those are welcome emails. This is a different email. This is a reactivation email. So the most important part of reactivation of a reactivation campaign is the subject line. So take that into consideration when you're writing this. There are some parts of last week's episode that talks about this. I mean, this is a little deeper because this is a reactivation thing, not a welcome. But there's certain elements about email marketing that goes across the board, no matter whether it's reactivation or welcome. Okay. So if the subscriber was, say, regularly opening your emails, this is why you want to segment your list, guys. So if they regularly was opening your emails, they probably wouldn't need to be reactivated in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So the subject line needs to be something different from your usual content to grab their attention and compel them to click. That's important. So a good option is to maybe include a discount in the subject line. So the reader knows, there's some kind of value to open the email. So basically speaking, say dollar amount discount will perform better than a percentage discount. So if you say $100 off on the next purchase is better than 5% off on the next purchase, even if they may equal the same. Okay. So you can also try to create curiosity, like, with something like, gift for you inside. That's a good subject line. So that's just the subject. So inside the email, you want to remind them of the value that you provide to your email list. So whether that's actionable tips or further discounts or exclusive offers, you want to amp them up the next, amp up the time sensitivity of making a purchase by letting them know that that discount is only good for, say, a limited time. So it's that scarcity mentality. Now, the thing with scarcity, you got to be careful with that. This is a very overused tactic. Make sure that the scarcity, whatever it is true. I'll give an example. Like not too long ago, I was running out of books, and I literally had like maybe 15 books or something like that. So I did a Facebook campaign, and I totally told people I only had 15 books left, and I really did only have 15 books left. I wasn't joking. I just wanted to finish those 15 off. I purchased more books so I can give out, but I said to myself, I only want to give it out to people in my podcast now. So there's no limitations. That's the only way they're going to get the book is if they listen to my podcast, or if you randomly just get into the website and find it. But I'm no longer promoting it on social media. I'm no longer promoting it on YouTube. I'm no longer promoting it on Google AdWords. It's just simply, I'm just promoting it here. But I did have 15 left. And by the time the 15th after the 15th person got the book, I was away, so I didn't get a chance to take down the ad. So when the 16th person tried, it actually said, sorry, we're sold out. And that actually happened. So this is scarcity is a very important, my point of telling you that story is that scarcity is important and it's very powerful. Just use it correctly. I've seen a lot of people with false scarcity. So with this email, you want to make sure that if you're going to use that tactic, that is, inside the email, I suggest you do, because the email has to have some sort of, because you remember, this is a re-engagement campaign, or reactivation campaign. So, you want to have something where you're going to give them value, and in return for the value, they're going to, maybe purchase something from you, or maybe you're going to set up a consultation, or whatever your call to action is. Okay, anyway, I've talked enough about that. Let me go to number 5. Number 5 is follow up. See, while a single reactivation email may earn you some sales, a reactivation series will definitely perform better. Kind of like what we talked about last week. So you want to send 2 or 3 emails in the series, reminding the subscriber that, there's time that their time is running out, to use the discount, or to create a sense, or to take advantage of this offer. So you want to create that sense of urgency. So we're using a lot of marketing techniques here. First, we talked a little bit about scarcity, and now we're talking about sense of urgency. Very important tools in the marketing world. Number 6, we want to celebrate. See, this type of campaign is a low cost, relatively uncomplicated way to re-engage your past customers and potential customers, and actually get them to buy. So after you've sent your reactivation series, enjoy the boost in the sales. That's all you got to do. A trick that you can do on the follow-up sequence, I'm going to go back to number 5. I forgot to mention this, is you want to probably have some sort of incentive if they have somebody that likes your product and or service. And if you get them in, maybe the incentive they'll be getting an additional discount of X, or maybe additional product because they brought somebody else in. So that's basically with the follow-up. So that's number 5. Number 6, I said celebrate. You want to celebrate your stuff. I'm a big proponent of celebration. All right. So number 7, last but not least, you want this is your last step. So not everyone in these segments will open their emails. So number 7 is scrub. Since we know that not everybody is going to open this email, some emails may be caught in spam, but others will just not connect with the subscriber, period. So give the recipient some time to get it, maybe 30 days. If they still don't engage, it's time to just scrub them from the list. That's the strategy that I typically use when I scrub. Okay. So, question that I get from customers when I talk to them about reactivation campaigns is this. And I'm sure that this is probably since I get this question so often, I'm pretty sure that this is probably in the back of your mind. Does reactivation have to be through email? I get that so often. And my answer to all of them is this: not necessarily. See, email marketing tends to be more affordable than other methods and has, a great return on investment, as we discussed earlier. Online ads or social media ads also be effective to reactivations former buyers. I think I also talked about that before. The right platform for you will depend on your audience and budget. Okay, as you know, every platform attracts different types of clientele. So you have to decipher what is your platform. Okay, so if you're facing some tough times, some lean times, like a lot of people are, whether due to the pandemic or other causes, you got to remember something that I said in the beginning of this podcast, of this episode. A reactivation campaign is a must try to nudge those sleepy subscribers and get them, maybe excited again and buying your product and your brand again. That's very important, and that's key. So I'm going to go over the 7 steps one more time before I close this episode. Okay, for a reactivation campaign. Number 1, you want to organize and segment. You want to organize your list. You want to segment your list. That's probably one of the most paramount pieces. That's why I put it number 1. And it's one of the things that people do that they don't do. That's the sad thing. The most important thing is what they don't do. Anyway, number 2 is you want to set your goals. What is your goal for this reactivation campaign? Choose your segments. So once you set it up and once you have your goals, you want to choose your segments and you want to discuss how you want to strategize how you're going to talk to each segment. Number 4, you want to create your first email. Number 5, and I gave you some tips on that. Number 5, you want to follow up. Do at least 3 emails in the series. Remember, this is a reactivation campaign, not a welcome series. A welcome series is different. We talked about that last week. 6, you want to celebrate the wins because you're going to get some sales. This is going to boost it up. This is a proven formula to do so. And 7, you want to scrub. There are some people that just won't open up. So you just want to remove them from the list. So that's what I have for you today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. More importantly, I hope you start implementing some reactivation campaigns. Get out there and do it, folks. You can do it. This is not difficult. This is not rocket science. Just takes a little bit of discipline. That takes a little bit of know-how in terms of who your audience is. And just get out there and do it. And if you have any questions of how to do it, if you're doubting yourself a little bit, reach out to us. 888-416-7752. With that, folks, I'm going to bid farewell to this episode. Until next week, this has been Frank Deming, the local business guy, and you have just listened to another rocking episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Take care, everyone. Take care, and bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, Be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.